Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. Theodore Roosevelt. These words from Theodore Roosevelt are not just a quote. They're a wake-up call. Let me ask you something. Have you ever poured your heart into helping someone? Shared advice that came from experience, wisdom, truth, and still felt invisible? Have you ever felt unheard, unseen, dismissed? Not because what you said was wrong, but because no one seemed to care. You might be thinking, what more do I need to do? I know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to help. But here's the truth most people miss. People don't care about your knowledge. They care about your heart. They care about whether you see them, whether you're present, whether they matter to you, not your opinion, them. And once they feel that you actually care, something changes. They start listening. Walls fall. Trust is built. So why is this so hard for most of us? Why do we lead with what we know instead of how we love? Let's talk about it. We live in a world that worships knowledge. Degrees, titles, books, the certifications, opinions. The more you know, the more you're respected. At least that's what we're taught. We're raised to believe that if we just become smart enough, skilled enough, articulate enough, people will listen. People will follow. People will care. But here's the part. No one tells you. Knowledge doesn't open hearts. Compassion does. You can walk into a room with all the answers. But if the people in that room don't feel safe with you, if they don't feel seen, heard, or understood, your wisdom becomes noise. Think about it. The teachers you remember from school, were they the ones with the best credentials, or the ones who made you feel like you mattered? The friend you turn to when life feels heavy, is it the one who knows all the solutions, or the one who listens without judgment? The truth is, people follow the warmth before the words. They trust the presence before the advice. They respond to your heart before your mind. And this flips everything, doesn't it? Because it means that your greatest influence doesn't come from what you know. It comes from who you are when someone needs you. It's not about how loud your voice is. It's about how soft your presence feels. And when people feel that presence, when they sense your care is real, not forced, not transactional, they begin to listen deeply because they finally feel safe enough to be open. There was a man named Fred Rogers. He wasn't flashy. He didn't have a booming voice or a stage presence. He wore simple sweaters, spoke slowly, and looked directly into the camera, as if he were speaking only to you. Most people knew him as Mr. Rogers from television, but what made him unforgettable wasn't what he knew. It was how deeply he cared. There's a story about him that still moves people to this day. A young boy named Jeff Erlanger was battling a severe spinal tumor. He was confined to a wheelchair, unable to move much on his own. When Fred invited Jeff onto his show, he didn't prepare some grand lesson. He didn't give advice or try to fix him. He didn't make the moment about his own message. Instead, he sat beside Jeff. He listened. He smiled. He asked the gentle questions. And then, with pure sincerity, they sang together. It's you I like. Not the things you wear. Not the way you do your hair. It's you I like. Jeff's face lit up. In that moment, millions of viewers watched something rare. A man who knew that real power is presence. That healing begins when someone feels seen, Fred Rogers didn't change the world with speeches. He changed it by showing children and adults that they were valuable, just as they were. He didn't lead with knowledge. He led with love, and that made all the difference. Let me ask you, when was the last time you felt truly seen? Not judged, not fixed, not lectured, just seen, as you are. And now, ask yourself, when was the last time you offered that to someone else? Not advice, not a solution, just presence. Maybe it was your child, who didn't need you to explain the world, but just to sit with them while they cried. Maybe it was a friend going through something dark, who didn't need your words, but needed your silence and your warmth. Maybe it was even a stranger, the person at the grocery store who looked tired and worn, who just needed one moment of eye contact and kindness to remember they weren't invisible. We all want to be understood. We all want to be heard. But the question is, are we willing to be that safe space for someone else? First, because sometimes the most loving thing we can do is not to speak louder, but to care deeper. Think about the people in your life right now. Your partner, your parents, your coworkers, your kids. Are they hearing your knowledge, or are they feeling your care? You say, I don't have time. I don't know what to say. They won't listen to me anyway. But let me tell you something that might sting a little. It's not about what you say. It's about how you make them feel. You don't need perfect words. You don't need degrees, strategies, or scripts. You just need to care enough to show up. Stop hiding behind logic. Stop using busy as a shield. Stop waiting until you're more confident, more prepared, more ready. Because someone in your life needs you now. Not your knowledge, your presence. And maybe the reason people seem distant, distracted, closed off, isn't because they're rude or careless. It's because they're protecting themselves from a world where too many people talk and too few people care. So here's the truth. You don't have to be brilliant to make a difference. You just have to be real. You don't need more words. You need more heart. You don't need to impress. You need to connect. It's not weakness to care deeply. It's courage. Because it's easier to hide behind knowledge than to lead with compassion. But the world doesn't need more critics. It needs more kindness. It needs you. So here's the invitation. Not to speak louder, not to be smarter, but to love deeper. Not to be the person who knows everything, but the one who shows up. Someone in your life is waiting to feel safe, waiting to feel seen, waiting to be heard without being fixed. And maybe that someone is you. So today, let this be your silent decision to care first, to ask before advising, to sit before solving, to feel before fixing. You don't have to change the world today. Just change how you enter a room, how you listen, how you see people. Because every time you lead with heart, you give someone the courage to open theirs. And that is where real transformation begins. In presence, in patience, in care. That power is already in you. You just have to choose to use it. Let's go back to where we started. Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. Theodore Roosevelt. Now, do you feel the weight of those words differently? They're not just a reminder. They're a call, a compass, to lead with empathy, to live with intention, to connect before correcting. The next time someone comes to you with pain, pause before offering advice. Breathe. Look at them. Really look. and let your presence say what your words cannot. You matter. I'm here. I care. If this message touched something in you, if it reminded you of someone you care about, or someone you want to care better for, leave a comment below. Tell me, who do you want to start showing up for differently? Hit the like button if this message resonated. Subscribe if you want to hear more messages that speak to the heart. And if you feel someone needs to hear this today, share it. Don't hesitate. Don't overthink. Just share it. Because this world is full of noise. But what it truly needs is more of this. More heart. More care. More of you exactly as you are.